Before we get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know that at the time of filming this video, Le'Veon Bell just got released, but when I came back and edited it, Le'Veon Bell was signed by the Chiefs, and I think it was a great signing for the Chiefs to add the last piece they needed to try to make another run for the Super Bowl, and that's why I don't mention anything about it when I talk about the Chiefs game, and let's get right into the video. Hi guys, this is Panthers. I'm back in another video, and today I'm going to be predicting who I think is going to win each game in Week 6 of the 2020 season in the NFL. And before we get into that, I just want to let you guys know a few things. So first thing, the Seattle Seahawks, New Orleans Saints, Los Angeles Chargers, and Las Vegas Raiders all are on bye weeks this week. And if any other games do end up getting postponed, I will let you know in the pinned comment down below. But at the time of filming, all the games are scheduled as normal, except for the Bills-Chiefs game has been delayed from Thursday to Monday. But that's the only change. And we already know this change at the time of filming. But if there's any additional changes, I'll let you know in the pinned comment. Also, subscribe to the channel down below if you're not subscribed, because I'm trying to hit 300 subscribers by the end of 2020. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. And also go follow me on Instagram, because I make stories on there about sports news I don't on here, or just early. Like I made the post about Le'Veon Bell as soon as it happened, which I will talk about in this video. It's not until we get to the Jets, so you would have already known of it happening. And let's get into the video, and follow me on Instagram. Link will be in the description, and let's get right into the video. So since the Chiefs and Bills, which were supposed to be Thursday Night Football this week, got delayed since the Bills played Tuesday, and Tuesday to Thursday, like that's kind of not fair, so they delayed it to Monday. So there's no Thursday Night Football this week. So we'll start with Sunday 1 o'clock games. Since there's no Thursday Night Football, let's get right into it. First, we have the Texans taking on the Titans in Nashville, Tennessee. So Titans coming off a huge win on Tuesday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills. So I like how the Titans played on Tuesday Night Football. They were playing great. I thought the Bills were going to win that game because the Bills were playing very well. I'm surprised that the Titans blew them out as much as they did. So I'm going to pick the Titans to win this game because I just don't like how the Texans are playing this season. Yes, they beat the Jaguars, but the Jaguars have kind of fallen off since that Week 1 win against the Indianapolis Colts. They've just fallen off. They really haven't played as well. Gardner Minshew, he's still playing pretty good, just not quite as good. So I'm going to pick the Titans to win this game and stay undefeated. Let's get into the next 1 o'clock game. Next, we have the Ravens taking on the Eagles in Philadelphia. I'm going to pick the Ravens in this one because the Eagles, I think they played pretty good against the Steelers. It's just, I don't think they're going to beat the Ravens because Steelers and Ravens are both very good teams. So I don't think they're going to be able to beat either one of them. They didn't beat the Steelers. I don't think they'll be able to beat the Baltimore Ravens. And we'll have to see if Lamar is a good game, because Lamar lately has been a little bit not great, but he still played pretty decently, but not as good as most people would expect. So we'll see if he has a little bit of a bounce back game and plays ridiculously good like he was the first few weeks. And I'm going to pick the Ravens to win this game. And maybe Carson Wentz can play well because he played pretty decently against the Steelers for this season. It was like one of his best performances. We'll see if that continues this week or if he gets destroyed, because he is playing the Ravens, who are like the first or second defense ranked in the league, depending on if you put the Colts first or if you put the Ravens first. So pretty much top 2 defense in the league. So probably going to be pretty tough for Carson Wentz to move the ball, but we'll have to see. So let's get into the next game. Next, we have the 0-5 Falcons, who fired Dan Quinn, perfect move by them, playing the Vikings in Minnesota. So I got to pick the Vikings here because I like how they played on Sunday Night Football against the Seahawks, only losing by 1, kept it very close in Seattle. Now they're taking on the Falcons, who, even if they get a lead, they'll probably choke it away. So I just don't see the Falcons holding on. But maybe since Dan Quinn's not there anymore, maybe they actually hold on to a lead if they get it. But until they prove to me that they can and that they can actually finish out games, because they have the talent to be good. It's just they can't close out games. Until they prove to me they can close out a game, I have to pick the Vikings here because I like how they're playing. Dalvin Cook might not be playing for the Vikings because he did end up getting injured in Sunday Night Football. We all have to see if he's going to be healthy for this game. He might be, might not be. We're not sure at the time of filming. Hopefully, at least for the Vikings' sake, Dalvin Cook is healthy, but we'll have to see. If not, their backup played very well on Sunday night when he got injured, so I think they'll be fine either way. Vikings, I think, win this game, and maybe Justin Jefferson has a bounce-back game because last game was a little bit of an off game for him. Let's get into the next 1 o'clock game. Next, we have the Browns taking on the Steelers. The 4-1 Browns and the 4-0 Steelers. So I think this is going to be a great matchup between the 4-0 Steelers and 4-1 Browns in Pittsburgh because they've both been playing very well as of late. And Browns on a 4-game winning streak after losing that embarrassing game in Week 1 to the Ravens, Browns have just gone off, winning 4 in a row. And then the Steelers just haven't lost at 4-0. So I think this is going to be a great matchup. But I am going to pick the Steelers to win this one because I like how the Steelers are playing right now. The Steelers offense is going to be able to produce a bit more than the Browns offense because I think the Steelers defense is going to be able to slow down that Browns offense. So I like how that defense is playing. I think they'll be able to get pressure on Baker Mayfield and then also be able to slow down their rushing attacks. The Browns have a very good rushing attack, but we'll have to see if they can. Maybe they get a big rushing game, the Browns, and they end up winning that way, but we'll have to see. But I am going to pick the Steelers to win this, and I think Big Ben is another great game. And let's get into the next game. And I'm going to pick the Steelers to win that big matchup, but I can see the Browns winning it because I think it's a very good matchup, and I think it could go either way. But I am going to pick the Steelers. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Bengals traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So I'm going to pick the Colts to win this one because I like how the Colts are playing. Bengals got embarrassed by the Ravens 27-3. They didn't do good, but it makes sense. The Ravens have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Like I already said, it's 1 or 2 depending on if you think the Colts are better or if the Ravens are better. It makes sense why the Bengals didn't do good with Joe Burrow, who was a rookie. He has a bounce-back game, but probably not because he's playing the Colts, who are one of the best defenses in the NFL. And I think the Colts get another big win for their season and get another win. Bengals, I think, drop another game. If you're a Bengals fan, you should be happy because I like how Joe Burrow's playing, and I think he is the future quarterback of this team. It's just it's still his rookie year, so it's not going to be all just winning. It's going to be some losing, too. But I do think this is a better Bengals team than last year's Bengals with Andy Dalton, and that defense was just a mess. Now I think it's a better Bengals team. Maybe in a few years they start getting some playoff contention, but right now I don't see that happening. But maybe the Bengals somehow sneak in if they can go off in the rest of the season after this week, but I don't see that happening. So I picked the Colts to win this game. Let's get into the next 1 o'clock game. Next, we have the Lions taking on the Jaguars. So both teams, I would say, are not really playing that well since their 1 win they each had. And I'm just going to pick the Lions to win this one because the Jaguars, I really don't like how they're playing. And they beat the Colts, but then they lost to the Dolphins, and I just don't like how they're playing. The Lions, they're kind of like the Falcons. They really can't hold leads once they get them. But I think against the Jaguars they can, so I'm going to pick the Lions in this one. And I think we'll see a big game from Matthew Stafford and Gardner Minshew. Because I don't think the defenses are going to slow either one of these offenses down. I think we're going to have a high-scoring game, but I could see the defense possibly coming in and slowing down these offenses, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think we're going to have a high-scoring game, and it's going to be really close, but I am going to pick the Lions to win this game. Let's get into the next game, and that game was in Jacksonville. Next, we have the Bears coming to Charlotte, North Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. So, in this one, I could see it going either way. Yes, the Bears did beat the Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football last week, but I am going to pick the Panthers because the Panthers right now, I think, are very underrated. They started off 0-2. They've won 3 in a row. I like how the defense is playing. They're starting to progress. Young players on that defense, but they're starting to figure everything out for the Panthers. And that offense, Teddy Bridgewater's found it out. Robbie Anderson right now is I think 3rd in receiving yards in the NFL, maybe 4th. So that's pretty good. And then DJ Moore's kind of up there too. Not that high, but he's up there a bit. So I like how the Panthers offense is playing. I think we're going to see McCaffrey back against the Bears. Maybe we see him come back against the Saints next week in Week 7 in New Orleans, but I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see with Christian McCaffrey's timetable because right now Mike Davis has been a great fit for the Panthers and a great replacement. So when McCaffrey comes back, he might not take his 99% of snaps in the season like he was last year because of how good Mike Davis is playing right now. We might see more of a balance of a 1-2. So McCaffrey might not get as many yards and stuff, but that's fine because having the 1-2 break, that's better for McCaffrey because then he doesn't have to put as much pressure on himself and play as many downs, and it helps him in the long term so he can have a longer career. This will work out good just for fantasy owners of McCaffrey when he comes back. I would just say he might not get as much points as he used to because he's not going to play as many downs, I think. But fantasy's not really what matters. It's really if you win or lose a game. So I'm going to pick the Panthers to win this game, but I could see the Bears possibly winning if the Bears defense could shut down the Panthers offense, which I could see happening. But I could also see the Panthers defense shutting down the Bears offense. But I'm going to pick the Panthers to win at home in Carolina. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have Washington football team taking on New York Giants in New York. All right, they played the Cowboys last week, and then Dak is he's pretty much done for the season. So Hopefully Dak can get a contract from the Cowboys next year because he got franchise tagged this year. So hopefully they can work out a deal of some sort. But hopefully Dak can rebound and have a great year next year after this injury. He was on pace to break a lot of records if he continued what he was doing through 16 games, which would he have continued that? We'll never know, but I think he could have because he had 3 very good receivers in Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. So I think he could have easily done that. And a great running back in Zeke. So I think he could have easily broke those records, but we'll never know if he would have this season. If he comes back to the Cowboys, maybe he does next season, but we'll never know for this season. And hopefully Dak can recover and be good next year. But let's get into talking about this game. It's an NFC East matchup, the Washington football team and New York Giants. I'm going to pick Washington football team to win this game because, yes, there's a not certain about the quarterback situation right now in Washington because Kyle Allen got hurt last week. Dwayne Haskins might come back, or we'll have Alex Smith. Not really sure what's going to happen with those because don't know how long Kyle Allen's out. If he's out for a while, just that game, we'll just have to see. But I do think football team will win because the Giants, I think, gave a pretty good fight against the Cowboys, but I just don't like their chances against football team, and I think football team wins and it gets another win on the season. Giants stay winless. Let's get into the next game. Next, we have the Broncos taking on the New England Patriots in New England at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to pick the Broncos to win this game because New England right now, we're not going to see Cam Newton or Gilmore because they both tested positive. And I think with those 2 losses, I don't think the Pats are going to be able to win because when they played last time without their starting quarterback, they tried calling a timeout when they didn't even have one at the end of the half after taking a horrible sack. So I don't like the Pats' chances of winning this game, even though the Broncos haven't been playing great. I think the Broncos get a win, and the Pats drop another game this season. And let's get into the 4:05 games. So at 4:05, we have the Jets taking on the Dolphins. I'm going to pick the Dolphins because I think the Dolphins are very underrated. That's why I picked them to beat the 49ers last week, and they destroyed the 49ers. So that's why I picked them, because I thought the Dolphins were a lot better of a team than people gave credit to. The first few weeks, they were still playing pretty decently. It's just they couldn't really get a win. But then they got a win against Jacksonville and then San Francisco. And then now I think they get a win here against the Jets. We could possibly see this Dolphins maybe sneak into a playoff spot with a wild card appearance. Because right now I think the Dolphins are playing this great. They have Ryan Fitzmagic playing at quarterback. You play him and you tell him he can play however he wants because if he gets injured, you got Tua ready. And you don't want to rush Tua in because he's your future quarterback of this franchise, and you don't want him to get injured. So if Fitzmagic keeps playing like he is, there's no point in putting Tua in, and Tua can just be the starter next season. But then if Fitzmagic starts to play bad or he gets injured, then you always have Tua as the backup, ready to go in the game whenever he's needed. So I think the way the Dolphins are running this quarterback situation is perfect. And in my opinion, if Fitzmagic keeps playing the way he is, I don't think we see Tua come on the field the whole season. Except in a Week 17 scenario where they've already clinched a playoff spot or they're already out of the playoffs. But otherwise, I don't think we see Tua come on the field except if Fitzmagic gets hurt. If he continues his play as he's been playing, continues how he's been playing Fitzmagic. So I'm going to pick the Dolphins to win this game against the Jets in Miami, and I think the Dolphins get another win. Jets stay winless. So according to my prediction, both New York teams still don't get a win this week, and they still over. Let's get into the next game. Next at 4:25, we have Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers taking on Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. I'm going to pick the Packers to win this game because I like how the Packers are playing right now. We might see Devontae Adams back for the Packers, which would be a huge addition. But even if we don't, I still do like the Packers' chances against the Buccaneers. And Tom Brady last week on Thursday Night Football forgot it was 4th down. He thought it was only 3rd. So that Tom Brady got to manage his downs next time. But I still do think the Buccaneers are going to lose this game. And the Packers get a win. And Packers stay undefeated. Let's get into Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football at 8:20 p.m. we have the LA Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. So I'm going to pick the Rams to win this one because the Rams are 4-1 on the year. They're playing great right now. The 49ers just came off an embarrassing loss to the Dolphins at home, and they get to play at home again now against the LA Rams. And I think the Rams, the way they're playing right now, is very good. And Jimmy G ended up throwing 2 interceptions against the Dolphins in the first half and getting benched for the second half. So I just don't like how the 49ers are playing right now, so I have to pick the Rams here because they're playing a lot better. maybe the 49ers have a bounce-back game and get a win and then start a winning streak, but I don't see it happening with all the injuries they've had. And I'm going to pick the Rams to win, because that's who I think will win. And let's get into the next game. On Monday, we have a doubleheader, so at 5 p.m. Eastern, so a bit early of a game, I would say. We have the Bills taking on the Chiefs in Kansas City. The scheduling this year is just going to be a bit weird, so that's why it's so early, because I guess they want people to watch the actual Monday Night Football game, or that was originally supposed to be on Monday night, so that's why it's so early. But I think this will be a good matchup, but I am going to pick the Chiefs because I just don't like how the Bills played against the Titans, and I don't think they're going to be able to slow down the Chiefs. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win this game, and Chiefs get another win on the year after coming off that loss to the Raiders. The game that was originally scheduled for Monday Night Football, that will still be Monday Night Football, except if anything changes, which I'll let you know in the pinned comment down below if it does. We have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. So I do like how Andy Dalton played after Dak got injured and he came in. But I do think the Cardinals are going to win this game because I just like how the Cardinals are playing right now. And yes, I get they just got to win off the Jets, and before that they lost to the Lions and the Panthers. But I think the Cardinals come in here and get a win against Dallas. So let me know down below if you disagree with any of my picks. And thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.